working in the AI field. I also run a startup, which is in the recruitment and upskilling space. So my startup purely, solves the problem of students looking for jobs and then also internships. Parallelly, the recruiters who actually want to, hire these amazing students out of campus and stuff like that. Parallelly, also find them some amazing corporate trainers who could help them in soft skills and things like hard skills. I think one of the key things right now which I see is generative AI, similarly IoT, Salesforce, and a lot of tech, things which are really leading the marketplace right now. So yeah, let's get started. I mean, I'll have brief overview about what's the agenda, and I'll also talk a little bit in between on the Chat GPT 4.0, which is one of the best tools been running since over 7 months now. And I'll also share some of the use cases I have utilized this tool and how I've saved literally 2.5 hours every single day as a business entrepreneur. So I'll also share all those case studies, analysis, and if you have any questions, do drop in the YouTube live, and I'll try to address this as soon as possible. So let's get started. So yeah, so this is how I start. First of all, I would really like to thank the Reskill and the Azure developer community to having me here. Recently, I was invited to Super AI event. This was specifically for startups who are into AI, and I had a chance to interact with a live AI robot, as you can see on the screen, and I could ask her questions related with what is going on in the market in the AI. Is ChatGPT better than Gemini? And all such kind of questions. And I was able to get some amazing questions. So this is how the future looks like when it comes to AI. I believe maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, we will try to see a lot of such robots, a lot of such people coming out there to demonstrate about their beautiful solutions which they have. Right, so this AI is something which is the future, right? So we'll go down much deeper about the topic, in terms of what are the things we are going to discuss. I've already covered a little bit about me, right? We're also going to have an agenda, what specifically we are going to discuss at this specific juncture of the lecture. What is ChatGPT 4.0? I know there are a lot of developers out there here. There are a lot of students. There are a lot of corporate professionals which really want to streamline their workflows using Azure OpenAI services. Right, and there are a lot of people who want to master prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is also something I would like to cover. This a little bit on the advanced prompt engineering as well. I would love to cover. Parallelly, we also see a case study which has got some personal success with this tool, ChatGPT, and how you can really save time with this tool and do more with less. I mean, the most important thing is there's a lot of clutter information online on the space. A lot of organizations do webinars, seminars, and a lot of things. So, which events to go, how to categorize, which are the great sessions which you should attend, or which are the places where you can speak on. So all those things I'm going to cover up more from a corporate professional and a business entrepreneur point of view as well. All right, so let's just quickly get started. This is a little bit more deeper brief about me. So I've also mentioned about my startup, a little bit about where I'm incubated. So I'm incubated at Triple IT CI Hyderabad. I've also started recently mentoring some student entrepreneurs through Ignite program at Vadhwani Foundation. Working with global students who are just coming out of college, and they would love to interact on the AI part, specifically marketing and sales. I've also been a KPMG corporate trainer with a decade of experience. Been featured in close to 35 international podcasts and media. One recently, it's in the pipeline. And I've had an amazing time on the four different technologies, which is AI, IoT, Salesforce, and a little bit on the technical product coaching with sales. I've delivered over 250 plus sessions, and this is my 62nd session in Gen AI. I've been, getting the title LinkedIn Top Voice for Lead Generation 2 quarters. I have also hosted a couple of books, including my favorite being Introverts Hidden Meaning, because I was an introvert at school at first. So I've also, wrote a book on that. I've also got exposure to work with some brilliant candidates who run startups. with some of the Ivy Leagues like Harvard, MIT, Berkeley, and Boston. So I work with the early stage startups right now, giving them mentorship and helping them with some of their ideas, which they can move to the MVP stage and stuff like that. Now, yeah, before we go directly live into the tool and the prompt engineering part, I just wanted to highlight quickly about storytelling. I mean, just like I spoke about my story, right? Everyone has a story out there. So when we talk about these tools, right? I mean, they also have a story. I was very fascinated. When I was working with the government in tender work, so I was very fascinated with IoT. That time, Internet of Things was really booming. I'm talking about something around 7 to 8 years before, right? So that time I knew that this could go, something like a great exposure, do a great exposure to a lot of people, right? So if you can see on the left hand side, this is a robot. It's an AI robot, like the one I showed you with Super AI, right? So this robot is actually trying to engage with a lot of old age people. Now all these old age people, they want to interact with this robot, and what this robot is trying to do is trying to share some kind of storytelling, just like you have your stories, which you actually share with your grandparents and things like that. So here is what the robot is doing, and as you can see in this picture, like this robot is trying to visualize the brain of each of the attendees here, what their emotions are, what they want to express and things like that. Right, so these are some of the things which probably they are mentioning about, right? So these are some amazing ways how the future looks like, and why chat gpt has come into the picture. Because again, just think about you going to chat gpt and putting a prompt, generating an AI image, right? It's just a click of a button and you can quickly get an AI image like this, right? The second one is just like a lecture you have with something like not for profit organizations like TEDx, Josh for talks and stuff like that. So imagine the future, right, when robots are going to deliver lecture to people like 10,000 or maybe 50,000 people, right? You might have seen Tony Robbins doing such kind of events, where in UK he delivers it to maybe 50,000 or 1 lakh people, right? So that kind of future is what storytelling is going to benefit a lot of people. So it's very important for us to master this tool. It's not necessary you need to know everything about this tool, you need to be a engineer per se, but then yes, you really have to learn little bit of coding as well. That also adds a value to this tool. So if you learn Python, I think that will do wonders for you for the initial part. This is like an one of my experience as an entrepreneur. I'm sure there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there, or maybe there are some non-developers or developers background who want or aspire to start a company. I mean, this is a perfect time right now. Government is really helping to support you in terms of startup ideations. You have a lot of incubators out there. You have amazing organizations like Reskill organizing this free community events. So there's a lot of opportunity out there where you can actually organize and deliver events, right? So on the left hand side you see was an opportunity given by Reskill again for me to go to Anurag University and share my stuff on ChatGPT 4.0 to 200 plus engineers. In the middle you can see this is a ideation design thinking workshop I organized with triple IT Hyderabad conference space, and I divided a lot of teams. The college students who came together, the corporate professionals, gave them different ideas and asked them to submit their ideas, which probably led some people to win some goodies. So this is how the future looks like when it comes to entrepreneurship, or when it comes to technical in terms of workshops. People are really going to be fascinated with these events, thanks to COVID coming into the picture, because now we are more able to connect with people online and offline as well. So that has also improved a lot of people to do networking, right? This is also some event of the past. This is like a founders table which was at Kokarma in Hyderabad, and we got mentorship with some of the brilliant venture capitalists, and we also had a chance to be part of the founders roundtable, where we had 8 different founders coming together and coming up with the ideas about startup, about the execution, how to go to the next stage, getting mentorship and stuff like that. So there's a lot of right now if you see on the tech part, so if you have a startup which is into technology, you can really get a lot of mentorship. You can really expand your knowledge to multiple countries. I mean, I've had chance to go to Singapore recently, so different countries you can get chance if you really build something over the tech part. This is one with AI camp. This is at Microsoft Reactor Bangalore, where there were a lot of great data scientists. I met some data analysts and some amazing students from Christ University and other colleges in Bangalore. So there also I had a lecture on ChatGPT, and most of the thing what I've understood in terms of delivering lectures on AI is the enthusiasm. Okay, so everyone is enthusiastic about AI, right? And it's not that they just want to learn; they also do podcast. They also have ideas where they implement for design thinking. They also use it for, let's say, graphic designing and things like that. So AI is something which is beautiful and everyone should use it. These are some of the areas. I'd not like to go much deep into that, but these are the areas where I actually do more like networking and community work. So I've joined a lot of such places where I try to utilize the networking skills and reach out to a lot of people. Now, as I was saying in the previous couple of slides about the fusion of emerging technologies, when we talk about generative AI, so one of the key things what I see right now is also using technologies just like you have your cloud, right? Azure gives you a cloud access. So you join Founders Hub, you get some credits. You join Amazon, you get some credits when you're building something over AI, right? So this is what the future looks like. There are a lot of startups who have ventured into drones, for example, right? There are a lot of startups in India as well. I've seen where they're talking about drones, right? And this is what the future looks like. As you can see, when we talk about Elon Musk and a lot of some amazing technological folks doing some disruptions in the society, right? So this is how the future looks like. Maybe 5 or 10 years down the road, if you're based out of US or Canada, you would see this happening, where you can see people less worried about the travel in terms of crossing the roads and things like that. Even the emotions of people makes the road become colorful. So let's say someone is in a cool mindset, the color changes to blue. If they're angry, it becomes red. So based upon your emotions, the holograms work. And as you can see, it's all driverless cars, right? So there's no driver inside, right? And that's what the future looks like. And this is all because of the Gen AI part, IoT and machine learning and things like that. So everywhere you see right now, there is a fusion of emerging technology, right? So if you can really see everywhere, the roads, the routes, right? It becomes, your life is becoming much easier because of these tools, right? Now think about you as a technical person, want to do a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, you have to go to Google, you have to search a lot. You have to then concentrate and think, okay, look, which is the one website which I should really be going to take that as a the final verdict, and then try to utilize for my research. Now you have these amazing tools like ChatGPT, which can really do a lot of things in literally seconds, right at your fingertip. Right, so if I want to search, let's say if I want to travel to a country like Indonesia, and I want to make an itinerary, which places to stay in Indonesia, if I want to stay in Jakarta, in Bali, and different places. So there's an AI tool which can actually decide my itinerary. It can even tell me which are the best cheapest locations where I can go as a tourist, which are the places where I can go as conferences and pitch for my speaking sessions, or which are the places where I can go and get mentorship with the incubators and stuff like that. So that's an advantage with the AI right now. You really don't have to put that much effort to get the output. You just give some good prompt and you will get that output, right? So this is something which is amazing when it comes to future. Now, yeah, coming back to the topic which we are here. So when you talk about Azure AI, I think a lot of people ask me, like, why did you choose Chat GPT, or let's say OpenAI, as one of the topics? The reason being, I think this really is a game changer right now. And so I'll give you more insights from a business entrepreneur as well as from a corporate professional point of view. So think about, every single day we have a lot of ideas. Okay, so every single day, we think, like, what should be the next step, how do we execute it, right? So that's where your Chat GPT 4.0 comes into the picture. So you have an amazing idea, you really want to move it to the next step where you also talk about execution. That's where you need this chat gpt 4.0. You give a prompt and it can literally do wonders for you. It can literally write down case studies, it can literally help you frame some amazing strategies for the specific technical topics which you're searching. And it can also do all kind of focus group research for you. So let's say there are 15 professionals from Dell, 12 from Microsoft, 10 from Infosys, and all coming together on a common platform. And they want to do a discussion, talk more about, let's say, something like NLP, right? So everything can be discussed using some amazing tools. They can practice and they can do a lot of things using those strategies, right? And the best part I see right now is you can reach out to masses in a much faster space. So earlier, like, you really have to search places where to go for events. You just give a prompt in gpt. I remember when I was going first time to Singapore, and I wanted to attend maybe 15 to 20 such amazing startup events. So I just gave a prompt mentioning my dates when I will be in Singapore for the first time, and then it gave me all those answers where I can attend those events, right? So I really didn't have to actually browse and do that kind of research. I just had to put a prompt, and it gave me all the places where I should be there, where I should register in as soon as possible, as long as the seats are available, right? So that's a good part of chat gpt when it comes to my experience right now. Now, I mean, what are the things which we are going to cover? I've already, mentioned in the agenda initially. But then to go much deeper, one of the key things is we need to know what is ChatGPT 4.0, right? What are the language models it will support for various applications? So it's not necessary you need to be a coder per se to learn ChatGPT 4.0. I am also not a coder, from my previous experience. I am more coming from a commerce background. I took marketing because I loved marketing more about finance. And I then started learning a little bit on tech, did a lot of sales job, government tenders and stuff like that, developed an interest into AI ML, and then that's how I landed up here. But then it's about, regardless of you coming from an engineer or let's say non-engineer background, you can still learn about this amazing tool, right? It's just that you really have to start somewhere, right? Next, and the most important thing, so this headline, like integration into daily life, as you can see, it has helped me win a lot of projects, as well as it has helped me win a lot of speaker sessions. Because you think about a generic timeline which you have on a day to day routine. So think about, let's say you're a student, okay, so you are just in the college, and you feel there are a lot of assignments you want to do, and you feel, like professors are pretty busy out there, they cannot give you that much time. So whom do you approach, right? So you can approach these tools to give you some kind of shortcuts, but I don't recommend to do it blindly like copy paste, but rather get some kind of ideas to make your answers more structured. Right, similarly, when I talk about corporate professionals, so think about, like, on an average day, how many emails do you send to your superiors, right? How many emails do you send to your teammates, right? So all those things can be automated if you really have some ideas in place, right? And even the personal use. So let's say you're going to buy groceries out there, you're going to buy something, on a specific date and time. Using those AI tools, it can recommend, look, you should go here and not there. I did that once, when I really wanted to save some money. So you can also think about all those personal examples which you can really integrate into daily life. And believe me, if you start doing it, like, let's say, bits by bits, it is going to be a revolution for you, because tomorrow you're also going to help the next generation as well, and that there's a lot of chance you can really save a lot of money there. Right, and the last and the most important, which is the reason why we are all here, is about prompt engineering, right? So as you know what a prompt does, right? So you just give some kind of a command, and it will give me an output, right? Just like you remember when you go to your computer classes in schools, right? So you wanted to learn a little bit of basics of computers, so you gave a prompt and then it will give you an output, right? Because every technology has a different language to learn, right? And this has to be precise and effective interactions, because the reason being, if you give something which is absurd, or let's say it is opaque, okay, so let's say, for example, I give a prompt saying I need data for 100 entrepreneurs who are into edtech, right? but I have to again make it more narrow down to mention I need it specifically for Telangana. Okay, so I need specifically for one state in India, specifically for Hyderabad and what they have built in past 3 months. Okay, so this is the data I can get to see the competition out there for my startup, right? So you have to give the solution, let's say the prompt, precise and to the point. What I recommend to people who are using this tool is think this tool like a friend. Okay, so when you talk to your friend, you do that icebreaker session, right? When you talk to your friend and you mention like, look, I really want to do friendship with you and also get some answers for my questions. So you try to make them feel comfortable initially. So you have to make the chat gpt feel comfortable with those precise questions which you want to ask. Similarly, you also have to interact in such a way where they feel like, okay, you're giving them the enough information which is needed. Because again, if there is a wrong information, or let's say a half baked information, the AI tool will make mistakes, and AI will make mistakes because they are not humans. You have to remember that. But the good part is they are not going to be biased that much, because again, they don't have emotions and things like which we have, right? Now here's an example I would like to highlight when it comes to the utilization of 4.0. So when you use a free tool versus when you use a paid tool, that's how the difference comes into the picture. So because ChatGPT is able to understand and process and respond to natural language inputs, because logically speaking, this AI tool can understand, take some time to process, and then quickly respond. But let's say you're asking your friend, they will take some time to respond. They cannot respond that quick, and there are chances they are going to make mistakes while giving you the solution, right? But with the GPT-4, the one which is on the right hand side, right, the chances of making mistake is pretty low because they have a better, greater accuracy, and they can solve difficult problems. We are going to see this example shortly. It has broader knowledge and problem solving abilities, yes, because again, it knows like, there's a lot of information already available on the internet, and it tries to do the summary for you. There are a lot of AI tools I use which summarizes YouTube videos. Okay, so I really wanted to see, let's say, 5 YouTube videos in one day, and I know I don't have 5 hours because those all YouTube videos are 1 hour each. So I let an AI tool summarize all those 5 hours of video in literally 10 minutes for me, so that I can just use 10 minutes and maybe learn that 5 hours of content as short as possible, right? It also can do problem solving abilities, because again, whatever problem we are throwing out, it will immediately solve us and give us the solution at our fingertips, right? It is more creative. Even songwriters are using it for lyric creation. Yeah, this is true. I have seen Hollywood songwriters using it, Bollywood songwriters using it, because again, think about the creativity part. Still, they need some ideas and stuff like that. Because earlier people wanted to do rap, they have to create things on their own. Now just they can just go online and search what are the best raps in the past, and maybe take some inputs from there and try to utilize that as a research purpose, and then put something more to add as a value add. Right, now let's go to this example quickly. So on the left hand side, this is a free part of ChatGPT, which is we say 3.5. So here we put this input as this is the prompt I'm talking about. Andrew is free from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Joan is free from 12 to 2 p.m. and then 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. So basically, there are three people as I can see: Andrew, John, and Hannah, which is available from 12 to half an hour, and then 4 to 6. Right, so there are three people, and we want to know when is the right time for all of them to come together and collaborate for that 30 minutes of a discussion. Right, now everyone has a different timeline, as you can see on the screen, right? But then, as you can see, Andrew is free from 11 to 3, right? But when I go to the output here and when I see this, they are asking to schedule a meeting at 4. Now, Andrew clearly is not available after 3, right? And this is what the mistake with the GPT basic model can do. But when you go to the GPT-4, the advanced model, right? So it is giving me availability between 12 to 12:30, which is matching for all of them. And for Andrew also, it is in their timeline where they are available, right? So this is the difference you have with a free versus a paid tool. I just wanted to highlight this because a lot of folks out there are using free tools and they feel like it's giving you the accurate answers. No, it is not giving you that much accurate when it comes to a paid tool, because again, that's the beauty of a paid version of ChatGPT 4. right? When we talk about the impact of ChatGPT in day-to-day life, I mean, I've discussed about integrating into our daily routine, but then think about the assistance. Okay, so let's say there's a senior folks out there who can guide you, who can give you some suggestion, but at times you feel like, should I ask this question? Would this question be silly? Should I, leave this question and maybe research myself? That's where your chat gpt can come into the picture. You really don't have to think about what the other party might feel. You can just ask them a silly question as possible, and it will give you the answer, right? And the good part is it gives you an accurate assistance, right? So all the daily tasks which you're doing, it is helping you to give the accurate answers to the point to you. The next part is information access, right? So there's a lot of information available out there. Just like I've spoken about the computers, giving you information based upon the input which you give, right? So how to facilitate that information, which is, to retrieve that information and to learn that entire process in different scenarios. This is what the GPT does. It tries to capture a lot of data from different large language models, right? LLMs, and then it tries to put everything, like a simple summary for you in a more precise format which you want, right, based upon the prompt you give, right? Similarly, as I've mentioned about songwriters, about creative assistants, right? So it helps you in creativity and problem solving through this AI generated suggestions and ideas. So let's say you have a deadline and you have a PowerPoint presentation in a corporate setting, where you have a presentation in front of someone like executive coming from abroad, and you really have limited time. So how do you get a good template? You can use chat gpt and you can probably generate those creative templates for PowerPoint. Parallelly, you can also, ask them some kind of topics to engage, let's say, the audience. All right, so all those kind of creativity thing in terms of problem solving or in terms of ideas, suggestion, everything the AI can literally do in fingertips, right? Now, there might be a lot of students out there here as well. So we discussed more about doing assignments. That's number one. Second is also, let's say, if you're interested for generating insights in terms of academic research, right? So you can also do that. I'm sure a lot of people want to apply for scholarships out there in different programs. You want to visit US, Canada, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, right? So you want to apply and you really want to, crack those specific universities. So here you can use it to get some great insights. Maybe write a better SOP, specifically, about yourself and your journey and things like that, right? Get the templates for writing great LORs, right? Letter of recommendations. So everything this GPT can do, and it can really help save you a lot of time, considering you reaching to someone else for a reference and then waiting for them to revert, right? So this can really be your handy friend. Next is task management. So I mean, as I've mentioned about earlier, about, let's say, I want to, plan things in advance, right? Similarly, I want to get reminders. So I'm sure there are a lot of people who sometimes miss out on reminders, and you feel like, oh, I just had it on my calendar, but I just, snoozed it, or let's say I had an alarm and I snoozed it and I missed this important meeting. So now you don't have to worry in terms of all those that, right? So you just install this app, put it in their mobile, and just automate it with any kind of app which you have, and it can give you those push notifications and reminders and make it so effective that there's likely chance you're not going to fail in that task, right? So that's the beauty about helping students when it comes to enhancing learning and efficiency, right? There are also a lot of corporate professionals out there. So a lot of people ask me like, Abhilekh, how do I improve my productivity? I want to streamline my task. I want to schedule a lot of things. I have a lot of meetings, by the way. So how do I make sure I attend all the meetings, right? And I started doing this on the social media. I started using some AI tools on my LinkedIn. So eventually it backfired though. So I had to actually, like, I had close to maybe like 1200 or 1300 very much active, LinkedIn competitors out there who've been posting a lot of things. So I asked this automation tool to remove them from my LinkedIn. Though it backfired, it removed some, like, important folks as well. But that is just, I'm giving it as an example, where you really want to make sure that your LinkedIn is very much customized, and you really want to see something very important for what you want to start your day with. So I was having a conversation with someone, and I was recommending them, like earlier I used to spend something like around 5 to 6 hours per week on LinkedIn. Now I have started, doing maybe 10 to 15 minutes per day. So now the time has reduced for a greater time. And LinkedIn giving you those titles, I mean, ultimately you start exhausting by writing all those articles. I've stopped doing that right now, because again there's a lot of time to streamline and do a lot of scheduling and things like that. So these are some tools which I use along with the GPT, which has really helped me to become more focused, because I really wanted to see some content which is different, okay, on LinkedIn. So I really wanted to have very specific post which I really wanted to see. Even I go to Google Alert and I schedule it like, okay, these are the set of 5 industries I need the information on my inbox every Friday at 4 p.m. IST. So specifically at 4 p.m. I'll get this specific news about this specific segment, those keywords which crawl on the Google, right? So those kind of productivity boost is also very much useful if you really want to increase your operational efficiency, right? Next is workflow optimization. So I'm sure you would have been using a lot of chat GPT. I mean, we can quickly go back and see what are the things we can put across the chat GPT part, right? So we'll just quickly go and check this model. So I'm sure you can really now see, like 4.0 has come in. This is the newest and most advanced model, and this is freely available for some of the prompts you can do if you have not bought the license. But let's go to the GPT-4, which I really love, and maybe show you some of the great things which you can do. Now, before putting any prompt here, or putting any kind of such things, I would just like to show you. There's also a way where I can write something and then ask ChatGPT to rewrite it for me, because I'm not satisfied with the response. Maybe I want to paraphrase that, let them explain, clarify, expand it more, or maybe summarize, right? Even I can add more. So basically with add more, what happens is I can create a custom prompt button. This is with super powered chat GPT. It's a free extension. You can install it on Chrome, Edge, or any browser, right? So you can probably create a new custom prompt. So let's say you want to say, like, I want to get startup ideas, and you can write some prompts saying, like, these are the countries where I want to get startup ideas, and give me prompts to search the networking events happening at that specific juncture, right? So those kind of things you can create in terms of custom prompt buttons, which will give you some answers to the point, right? And then these are some ideas which anyways ChatGPT gives you based upon like what people are searching online, right? So there is a lot of community prompts which you can get with AI PRMT, right? There are a lot of tools out there where you can also get a lot of things which people are ideally using most, or let's say there are some new like things which they are surfing now. People are learning about quantum theories, or let's say about enhanced meta learning algorithms. These are some prompts they are searching, right? They want to generate image with the chat GPT 3.5, right? They want to summarize, as I have mentioned, YouTube videos. Now this is something very interesting. So what you do is you just go and you just click this use button. So when you actually click this use button, it will just do one thing is, it will just copy paste the prompt for you, and you can actually get the specific prompt in literally seconds. So you can see, like, this is a scenario which they have mentioned. Like, let's say they want to become the best content writer with 20 years of experience, and they want to summarize the video transcription, step by step, so that that specific list of programs, software, everything is very clearly visible, accurately visible, right? So this is how you can just copy paste and steal these amazing prompts which is available for free. These are all like community prompts, right? Similarly, if you want to autocorrect some of the things when it comes to coding, and if you feel like there are some errors in the coding and logic, you can use this amazing prompt. So this is on different areas. You can see, like, I want to search productivity under coding, under general. Similarly, research, summarization, extension. So there are different ways, and you can see who has given this. Okay, so who has given this. Even you can also share a prompt to people, and you can also give it to everyone. So you can see my name is here. I can also share my social media account, and I can just click the submit button. So this prompt I can also suggest to a lot of people who really want to get help. So there are total 3,851 prompts right now available, which you can try, right? There are more based upon, if you want to see how many are most used, right? So you can select that. You can also select based upon what you want to learn. So let's say I want to do coding, and I want to see, what people are searching mostly when it comes to coding. So as you can see, like chat gpt in developer mode, right? They want to act as a prompt generator, act as ai assisted doctor, right? So force chat gpt showing images. So there are a lot of, things which in the coding domain people are searching right now, which is being given as complimentary to you to just copy paste and use it. Similarly, if you are very passionate, let's say, about something called as, let me show you. So you are passionate about, let's say, research, and you want to, see what people are searching. So see, people are searching for ai tutors, right? Now they want to use some kind of solutions so that they can be literally a professor who can probably have a, ai based solutions and things like that, right? So these are some of the prompts which is freely available on your community prompts. Now let's go back. And the one important thing I wanted to quickly show before I show prompt is about explore gpt. As you can see on the left hand side, there's something called as explore gpt. So now, for example, I want to see how many GPTs, are available. So I'll just go to the basic one, the free one, to check, how many GPTs are available right now. Considering, what are the things I can pick up based upon my interest areas and things like that. So you can see, like, these are the featured ones. So as I have mentioned, the itinerary part. So I want to have a planning assistant which can take care of a flight, hotels, and cars. So I go to Kayak app. It can do that. Similarly, resume building, a lot of students right now here want to use advanced ai in terms of editing their resume. Just like, think about from a resume writer perspective, right? Then similarly, charts, if you want to generate some kind of diagrams, right, you want to do. Similarly, if you want to generate an image, you want to write some research articles, you want to use canvas. So everything is inbuilt, by the way. So you just have to log in once, and you can really, do a lot of things. I think this is my favorite, where I can use a lot of images with dali. So you can have an imagination based images. Let's say you want to analyze excel files and things like that. You can make this ai do things like a data analyst, right? You can also be a writer, like a creative writing coach. I'm sure there are a lot of folks out there who are content writers, so they can use this tool to write some amazing articles. Similarly, there is also humanize ai, like, which helps you. Now this is important, that when you're submitting any articles, let's say for freelance or let's say for work, you can use this, but to a certain extent, because it will behave like it's a human article. But then again, there are softwares like Turintin and a lot of softwares which will still catch you out if you start to, use such ai tools to write long articles like 5,000 words and things like that. So be careful while using these tools. But then yes, it is a savior for you if you want to use some ideas. Right. Similarly, I like to do a lot of my visualizing things. So I use Asana, I use Trello. So even for diagrams and things, you can use this. Regardless of you wanting to code or things like that, it can really make some amazing designs for you. Right. Similarly, I've also mentioned about education in the previous part. So AI tutor, which is given by Khan Academy. Right. So this is also a free tool. Similarly, if I want to summarize, let's say, a YouTube PDF book. So basically, I want to make it in a book format, or let's say I want to put it in a code format. Anything which I like, I can have that summary. A lot of people ask me about astrology, right? So even I want to check your future, you want to check based upon your birth chart. So this also now the ai can do for you for free, literally for free. Fitness folks, yes, you can also do a lot of, you don't have to buy those costly apps to track your nutrition and things like that. You can use this free tool here. Travel guide, there's also song maker. This is for singers, songwriters and stuff, right? Similarly, for coders out there, a lot of people are coding. So these are some amazing tools which you can see, like this code copilot. So it can probably build faster 10x programming for you, right? Python also, I'm sure you already know, this is also a tool inbuilt, right? Website generator. So you can literally create websites in seconds. You really don't have to code, right? You can use this website generator as well. There are some tools like flutter, right? So if you want to use this technical tool for assistance, project generation, you can also use this. So there's a lot of tools. I'm just showing you some of the tools which is freely available, right? So you can probably do that, and you can also create a tool tomorrow once it is possible. So you can also create it, and you can probably make an amazing tool. So you can actually build a tool, and that's how cool it is. So let's say I want to help me. So I'm interested more in, let's say, helping students get jobs and internships. So helps me create AI ML tool. So I'm just writing a prompt to see if we can do that. That can help students get jobs and internships with recruiters support. Okay, so let's see if it can really give me some kind of new GPT thing. So you can see, like, it was really quick, and they have mentioned the tool name also. So the fascinating thing is they have also mentioned it as Career Navigator. So they have already created it. If you can see here, this is the preview. Help students get jobs and internship with recruiter support. So when people will search, they can probably improve their resume. They can help them for networking. They can help them to prepare an interview, and they can optimize their LinkedIn profile. Right. So someone clicks, how do I optimize my LinkedIn profile? So these are the steps which this tool is giving, called Career Navigator, and it is just giving you literally in seconds, mentioning what to do, what not to do, and what to put and what to skip. Right, what to join groups and things like that. Now you have to give it more specific prompt, because again, you really want, so you have to tell them a story. So let's say I will say something like, consider myself as a fresher of MBA in finance, and I want to improve my skills over technology topics like Gen AI. Help me to suggest what should I include in my LinkedIn profile. Give me 10 bullet points. Okay, so this is very specific kind of like prompt given, which with this tool of Career Navigator, and this you can quickly see. These are the profile headlines it is doing. So if you're someone who is an MBA fresher in finance, these are some recommended headlines. As you can see, MBA in finance, aspiring fintech professional exploring Gen AI and emerging technologies. Similarly, the summary has also been, now you can see it has matched, because now finance with technologies is what it is helping. Now this is also another tool I use, which is to summarize things, right? So I can also summarize if I want to know what is fintech and things like that, right? So this is also something you can use, right? So there's a lot of tool, if you can see on my screen, which I use right now. But this is also important. Very specifically, have you done anything in financial modeling, AI in finance? It will suggest you to do some things. Similarly, adding skill sets, experience, projects, right? I mean, now these are things it is suggesting, not necessary you would have done or you would have planned to do, but then yes, this is like suggested. Right. Then yeah, accomplishment. So again, something if you can win in a fintech innovation challenge. So what I do next is, maybe I put this here, and find me for let's say 2025 competitions in January to participate. Okay, so I'm just searching, if it's possible, if is there any fintech innovation challenge which I can really participate next year. So you can see here there's Women's World Banking happening, right? There's Fintech South Innovation Challenge, there's Pacific Islands Fintech Challenge by UNCDF, there's Fintech Challenge Lead. So these are some competitions which I can join. I can probably prove myself and try to see if I can win that, and this is how I can then put it in my accomplishment. So based upon whatever prompt it is giving me, I can literally create that. And the good part is I can configure this tool. I can name this tool. So what happens is this tool will be my own tool, and I can share the link, just like there will be a link for the other tools. I can create a photo. So these are all things you can do quickly. and you can also update it with some knowledge files. You can also give some a different kind of conversation starters. So these are some examples of what your audience will look when they are using your tool, right? This is how from a back-end point of view I'm showing. But then when you use, this is from the front-end point of view, when you get the prompt engineering solutions, right? So this is how quickly you can do, and this is the beautiful thing about chat gpt, which is very quick and which we can do it much faster, right? So this is how you can do. And then again, if you feel like you want to go back, or if you want to check what is happening on the web, you can also add some more value. You can also search gpts here. There's also an option. If you feel there's a gpt you already know, you can search. So there's a lot of things. Now see, these are the things which I have used in the past, so it is showing me the ones which I have recently used, right? So this is what you can do. Parallelly, you can close this sidebar if you feel like you really don't want to go back to your previous prompt, right? So you can see different things you can search, and you can create some folders as you like. So let's say I want to create a new folder. I want to write Azure community prompts for July 2024. So I made a folder, and this under this I can really add as many things as I want. I can even change the color. I want to make it more structured, right? So I want to make it, let's say, a different color, so that I can remember, okay, this is what I've been developing today. So you can probably have this community prompts. You can put your different gpts. You can add this. You can create some gpts. It will also show you what kind of gpts you have created. So everything you can do, and it's much faster. There's no worry in terms of in terms of how quickly it can be done, because think about you going to develop an app from scratch and doing things like that. But then now here you can do things much faster. Let's go back to the gpt-4 model, and let's do a quick prompt. So let's say, find me scholarship programs for non btech students in Japan. Also include internships with government of Japan. Okay, so I've just given a prompt. Let's say I'm someone from a non-technical background. I want to see if there is any scholarship program available for me in Japan, or let's say, if in case there's some, oh, I think there's some problem with the page. I guess, yeah, I have to remove the model, I guess. Just a second. Okay, let me use the GPT-4 for the time being, and let this, okay, so let this be a temporary chat. Okay, so find me scholarship programs in Japan. Consider me as a non BTech student, and also find me internships opportunities with government of Japan. So this is like a basic prompt I have given. I mean, considering I really wanted to make sure that this is going to be used, right? In terms of the basic thing, let's see if it can do it. Yeah. So this is very specifically mentioned, like, specifically if you're looking for scholarship, you really don't need to have a TOEFL or IELTS score. Instead, you can use an English proficiency certificate. So basically, you can really get it if your college can write that you're having basics of English knowledge, so that pretty quickly you can go. And this is like the link for Bright Scholarship, different application guides. If it is about internships, this is with educational programs and all. So now, one of the key challenge when to get an internship is, maybe you need to be going through an exchange program, or let's say you can probably secure it through government programs which might want you to be enrolled with a Japanese university, right? So that's one thing it is showing. But then again, there's also one opportunity they have mentioned for non-engineers, specifically with pit engineers. So you just click here, and you just wait for this to open. Once this opens, then probably you can apply with this master's programs for non-engineers, which is very specifically useful. You can just click, and this there's a scholarship information available also as well. I mean, obviously a score or something like that will be there, and this is how you can apply. So this is just an example. I mean, you can search a lot of things. Now I'm not happy, let's say, with this prompt, because it has just given me, let's say, two or three things. So maybe what I do is, maybe I'll ask them to rewrite it, their response. Let's see if they can, put it much better structure. If not, I'll try to rephrase it again. So it's just trying to, give me in a short way. So what I can see is, like, they have, put it in, instead of three paragraphs, now they have done it in a couple of paragraphs. Now let me, mention it, like, I am unhappy with the output. Can you give me 10 list of programs to apply in Japan for internships for me? Okay. So now I really wanted to, get an input. Let's see if it can really help me to give me those kind of inputs. Right. So now it's just giving me a better input. Now you see it has actually changed. It's all about how you put the prompt. Right. So now it has given me a better response, and it has actually literally given me the 10 opportunities where I can apply for internships, right, sitting in India or any part of the world. So as you can see here, there's METI, government of Japan. You can apply. There's Sakai Japan internship, right? University of Tokyo internship, Zenton internships, Asia internship program, intern abroad, CIE summer global internship, Tokyo internship, Japanese language and internship, and then internships in Japan by Gobro. So this is how the prompt really works. You really have to rephrase it. You have to change it, because in the first time it has very abruptly given me only two or three links, but then I wrote it very specifically, and then it has given me some better links. So this is about a little bit on the prompt. Let's go back to the PPT. All right. So this is what for the corporate professionals I'm talking about. Even for the students, I mean, it's the same, the productivity and the task management thing. Now, you have literally seen how prompt engineering works. One more thing, a lot of people ask me, like, what's an advantage of using 4.0 versus the basic, 3.5? So the word limit. So let's say if I want to, write something like 25,000 words, I can do it on 4.0. I can literally, basically write a book, in fact, right? So 25,000 words means I can literally publish a book, ask them to write a better thing, and just go and hit that click button in terms of Amazon and publish my book right away, right? So that's a beautiful thing about prompt engineering for 4.0. Image reading capabilities, yes, so it can read images much better. It is more accessible to non-English speakers. So there are 26 languages I can see on ChatGPT 4.0, where, let's say, if I want to record something in Japanese and I want to send it to someone who's based out in Germany, and they can get it and hear it in German language. So it is more accessible, and the languages can be converted with the translation tool. Similarly, because Duolingo and all those tools are already inbuilt, so it can do a lot of things for us. The most important thing is 82% less likely to respond to requests for disallowed content. So there might be chances where there's a lot of content out there, and you feel like, someone is trying to hack, or someone is trying to get some bad content, things like that, try to, use some kind of passwords and things like that. So it is not going to respond to those requests. So that is what the advantage is with the security part. It is more concise, less wordy answers, yes, because it will give you to the point solution. The formatting of answers is also cleaner. So as you can see, I asked them the 10 list of prompts for internships in Japan, and it gave me very specific links with two liners for each of those pointers, right? So where the formatting is really perfect. We can now determine the model's tone, style, and behavior. Yes, so there's also an option. If you want to give if you want to write a LinkedIn post, let's say a sad post, or let's say an emotional post, so there's an option. You can change the tone, you can change the behavior and emotions and things like that. I've also already shown you about Duolingo, Excel, and Intercom is also a solution which you can use, I think. So if you use startup grind, as a startup, if you're into tech, you can get 6 months of free Intercom, with startup grid. So you can register there as a startup and then get the solutions. Startup has a lot of advantage, and then again integrate it with the GPT-4 model, so that you can really automate your a lot of sales operations process and stuff like that. right? When it comes to advanced prompt engineering, so this is more about specific nuance AI interactions, because think about, I want to know specifically about some of the coding aspects which is to the point necessary in terms of getting an output, right? So I need an advanced structure for that. So I will write a code, I'll ask it to rewrite for me, I'll ask it to give some suggestions for me, right? So those complex prompt structures also can be handled that way. Precision and customization, yes, I mean it can be precise, it can be targeted response which you like. So that is what the customization part is, one of the key things when it comes to advanced prompt engineering. So the data scientists, the data analysts, they can really use it, and it can be really productive, because again, think about the level of complexity, right? So that complexity also it can handle. This is like one of the things about a personal success with ChatGPT. We try to make a deepfake data set for likeliness of a real human action. So think about, like, let's say this online, all those portals. Let's say we talk about Amazon Prime, we talk about Netflix. Tomorrow they want to make sure their production houses with whom they work, they don't want their actors to probably physically available for those events, or let's say for those shoots, or maybe also for pictures and movies. We developed for one of the UK production house defect data sets for likeliness of few film actors of Hollywood and Bollywood, where their exact dubbing skills, their specifically audio, their hand gestures, their entire manipulation of their entire specific way, how they behave, how they talk, everything gets captured, and that specific robot can really behave as if that person is the same. You might have seen a deepfake video, but this is more on let's say approved deepfake data set for the likeliness, real digital likeliness. So the actor will approve it via black blockchain technology, and they can really use this to make sure that tomorrow, if Netflix feels like we really want to save a lot of money for the actor to travel to UK or let's say US, so this actor can have this digital likeliness, they can do the shooting on their behalf, maybe because they don't have time. And the good part is the actor can do multiple film projects, and the better part for production houses, they can save the cost of traveling, hotel expenses and things like that for the actor. So there's a win-win situation for all the three parties, even the platform which will release the movies and things like that. So this is what the future is going to have work on. I've been working with a couple of tasks with Amazon Prime and also with Netflix on this project right now. So this is all because of the GPT which I've been using, and it has really been able to do all those kind of voice cloning and all those kind of managing all those data set for the target person's voice recording, everything, all those algorithm. I can really replicate it much quickly, right? This we have already discussed about saving time. I'm not going to cover that much in depth. But then, yes, I mean, I use some apps which also gives me a structure, or let's say a reminder, saying like, look, in a particular day you've been spending a lot of time on, let's say, YouTube. You really need to cut YouTube, or you're spending a lot of time on Facebook or Instagram, or let's say on non-productive platforms. So those applications will give me an alert. Parallelly, these applications will track how many meetings I do, what was the summary of that meeting. So there's a lot of AI tools available which can really track. You can just install it in your Chrome, or let's say in your browser, and it can do it for you. Similarly, there's also a lot of clutter of data, so you want to organize a lot of data, you can make different folders on your drive. I bought the Google Drive, I bought the Office 365 drives, so that I can put all those data on the cloud, because that will really help me to structure a lot of things. Similarly, automated research. So I mean, obviously you want to do some kind of literature reviews, you want to gather some kind of insights and data. So I do a lot of research for startup ecosystem while moving a startup from an ideation to an MVP and then going to a growth stage. So a lot of my automated research is fully dependent on chat gpt, because it really helps me to save a lot of my time, right? So 2 to 2.5 hours is what I save right now, if I compare it with, let's say, 7 months before, when I was not using ChatGPT 4.0. Yeah, and at the end, it's about doing more with less. I mean, we have to be efficient when it comes to chat gpt. I mean, think about, there's a lot of like tools available already into the market, where we talk about how to be super efficient. So I mean, we have to follow that tool so that we can really delegate the work, coordinate in such a way where we can really optimize our workflows and then use minimum interventions, because we really don't uh, want everyone to put a lot of effort there, so we can do that thing much faster and we can really collaborate efficiently and effectively, right? This is how the chat gpt looks like. So yeah, that's all. And I think if you would like to connect, you can always scan my code, or probably you can also stay in touch with me by adding me on different social media platforms, and we can stay connected if you need anything. So yeah, so that's all from my end, and I look forward to engaging with every one of you.
And likewise, thank you, Abhilekh, for this amazing detailed session. We look forward to having you with us more often than this. Thank you so much, especially on
Thank you, Rohit.
doing this on a weekend. Grateful to you.
Thank you, Rohit. Have a lovely time. Bye bye.
Sure.